Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Thank you for joining me. My name is Ivan Tamba, and I am one of the directors here at the Okra Network, your one-stop shop platform to connecting you to African organizations and projects. Today, we have a special guest. Her name is Ida Faal.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much, Avi, having me here. It's great to talk to you again, to have this conversation and share our projects and our work that we're doing in the Gambia. So I am Ida Faal. I am from the Gambia. I'm an automotive technician. So I have an organization called ClockTVet Foundation, where we train young women on skills training. And also, I had a company called Ida Faal Autos. It's an automotive company. This is where I am trying to, um, let's say, I am trying to digitalize the auto industry in the Gambia. That's trying to have a connection between the technicians, the car dealers, the general public, and the spare part dealers in one platform. And I also offer mobile mechanic services and mechanic services to the general public. So yes, in a nutshell, that is Ida Faal.
All right, so you're hinting on a lot of things.
Yeah, a lot of things. All that has to do with the skill
Mhm.
sector, let's say the TVET sector in the Gambia and probably in Africa. In the Gambia, if you talk about TVET, that's technical vocational education and training. That's the skill sector, right? I think in the US, you guys say CTE, career and technical education.
Yes.
Yes, that's what you guys say. But here it's in a different story because they believe that it's for dropout students, it's for
Mhm.
people who are not smart, it's for people who don't have greatest ambitions and all that. Let's say talking about my journey when I started it, because I did ICM, business studies, and I major in business law. So when I graduate, looking for a job wasn't easy on my side. So I had to sit back, pause, and redirect my life. So that's when I realized that there is so much unemployment, not only in the Gambia, but in sub-Saharan Africa at large.
Mhm.
And then through research that I am doing, I found out something that is very interesting. Is most of us, the African youth, don't want to venture into this TVET field. All we want is the white collar jobs. That's, casual, just casual jobs, but not the real skillful job. I had so much interest. Then I remember I decided to do everything. I decided to do construction. I decided to do plumbing. I decided to do welding and fabrication. Whatever its skills, I decided to do it. Then I had to talk to my mom because here you don't have to do any decision without your parents. You have to
Mhm.
consult them. You have to have a dialogue with them. So then I went because my mom wanted me to be a banker. That's her goal. That's what she wants me to do. And on the other side, that wasn't my goal. I have another project and I have another dream of myself. So then I went to this woman and I said, Ma, I think I'm going to in the TVET field. And then she asked, what is TVET? Many people, when I was starting this career, didn't actually know what is TVET. So I had to explain to her. So luckily, where I live in the Gambia, it's Later Kunda. So they call it the Parker. Parker means anything that you have to find in spare parts. So I grew
Mhm.
up spare parts all over me. The inspiration and the passion was there since when I was young, growing up with all these spare parts, playing around them. So it was so easy for me to find the direction of where I'm going. So I strictly tell my mom that I want to be a mechanic. So in the Gambia, I think Senegal and Ghana, we call mechanic fita. That's the local name we use for them, fita. And it was when I was starting, it was a taboo for a woman to be a fita. It was a total taboo. Forget about it. And then my mom started crying heavily. She started weeping. I was like, what's wrong with you, ma? And then she started saying that, so after going to the school, after going to all this training, college and everything, you just want to become a fita? That's a dirty job. It's not a woman job. That's not a career path for you. You have to go, to the banking industry, have a job in the office, have a white collar job. I was like, but that is not me. This is what I want to do. And that's when the trouble starts.
Mm.
I push and pull with her. It has to involve family members, community, and everything else. But still, I was very determined to pursue my goal because I was seeing something that many of them were not seeing. From the onset, I said, I'm going to change the narratives. I have a target, and I have to be the voiceless of this young woman who want to take a career in STEM, TVET related fields in the Gambia. So somebody has to do it. Somebody has
Mhm.
to change the narratives. So that's when I start. And the funniest thing also is like when I went to pick a form in the college that I was to study auto mechanics. So I met a instructor who's supposed to be my instructor. Now he's my friend, Mr. Emmanuel. Then I greet and I say, I'm here for the form. He just look at me and tell me that you were here to do what? I said, I'm here to enroll in the auto mechanic department. He said, don't you think you're too cute? Your hands are so very tiny. That's not a job for you. You have to go and do something else. And I look at him and I remember I was like, oh my God, he's supposed to be my instructor. And now he's telling me this. So I was like, Sha, I'm going to come here. I'm going to do this and you're going to be proud of me. And that's just what I did. So that's where my journey started at home. I have so many challenges with my mom, with family, friends, and to society. So much, discrimination and everything. But I was so determined to cross it. Now I have won so many awards. 2020, I was named one of the most 100 most influential female engineers in West Africa. And also, just last month, I win the role model award in Ghana. So I'm ambassador of Tibet in Africa. So this has opened so many chances, so many doors. I have impacted so many young girls who want to venture into this field. So yes, my greatest goal is the day that I'm going to see young women venture in any career they want, and without no cultural barriers, no taboos. They have the free will and right to venture in anything that they want and be succeed in it. That's my greatest goal.
That is a great goal. That's a very noble goal. You mentioned earlier about CTE. So similarly in America, the individuals that are pushed into CTE or vocational school are those that sometimes the schools do not believe are prepared for university or will go to university. And it's kind of a tough situation because I believe a lot of the times you have a lot of students who don't necessarily want to sit in a classroom all day, but they want options. And in America, the trade schools, you actually make a lot of money. And I think for a lot of schools, they're torn between trying to find a way to motivate children to be resourceful and useful. So I guess the language behind CTE may not be the same in the Gambia, but that mentality of let's put these certain types of kids there is still there. And it's kind of a shame because it is oftentimes filled with men. There are a lot of girls who don't want to become lawyers or doctors or teachers or nurses, right? And that kind of leads me to my next question for you. Has anything made you rethink things?
I can say social stigma. The social stigma is still rooted inside, but I'm glad that we're in the 2022. The narratives are still changing because even the girls that I'm training, I have some of their parents will be encouraging them, forcing them, and then calling me to thank me, and so it's the narrative are still changing, but the social stigma is there. Working in this skill sector such as mechanics, carpentry, merchants, and electrician is associated as a job that is a classless job. So within our society, it's like it's seen as a job that is not for a woman and a job that is not going to make you have a social status in our society. So most of the time, these young girls start and then lose interest in the long run. So, it happens to me, but I think mine was because I was so passionate about what I was doing. And what they say, passion is priceless. That's what keeps me going. But one of the biggest challenge that we are facing right now is the social stigma. Some of them might not take the social stigma. You will hear some of the words like this: "Get out of here. You are a dirty mechanic." Oh, don't do this. You are a carpenter. They have their social thing. They're not inviting you in weddings, in this, these are some
Mm,
keep them from not even wanting to show the world what they're doing. Like my girls, I told them that you guys will wear your overalls because this is you telling the world who you are. We have billions of people in the world. The world didn't care about you. You have to go there and tell the world, this is who I am. That is
mhm,
you wearing your overall, telling them this is what I am doing and this is what I'm proud of doing. So yes, social stigma is one of the limited role models. We have limited role models in STEM fields and in TVEC fields, which is upgrading. I have seen many young girls in the coding, in science, in mathematics, in the engineering field. This, I think we should support more of them to be role models. So these young girls don't see role models in school. Forget about it. You will not see a teacher tell you that you want to be an engineer, you want to be a carpenter, you want to be, they will tell you, you want to be a doctor, you want to be a
yeah,
lawyer. So these things are rooted in their head since when they were little. So growing up with that concept, they see these fields as nothing. And
mhm,
any country that doesn't have skillful youths, that country will not grow. I
mhm,
keep telling Africa that. Look at China, look at Singapore. They managed to, China is where it is today because it has empowered its youths through skill training. So I think we should adopt more on that, and let us start in grassroots level. Let's give these children option. Let's not choose for them. Let's
mhm.
let them choose for themselves and determine where they want to be and what they want to do in life. I think if we do that, yeah, the narrative will change.
I agree. I agree. And what's interesting is that a lot of the organizations that I connect with are oftentimes in the health, community, and sectors. But we know one of the issues with nonprofit work is that it's often not very sustainable. It oftentimes doesn't create revenue for individuals, right? So it puts a band-aid on a problem. I think what you're doing, you are creating options, and I love options. One of the things that we pride ourselves in America is we have so much because we allow so much. And there's moderation there, of course. But when you provide people with the freedom and the liberties to exercise their interest, to exercise opportunities to feed themselves and feed their families, people will ascend.
Sure.
And I believe it's a UN report by 2050 the majority of Africans will be at the youth age. If we know this, we can't be ignorant of it. We know that we're having children at an earlier age than most. We know this. We already have a problem today where the youth don't have jobs. A lot of adults don't have jobs. So if we're not finding ways to create more industries, if we're not finding ways to educate differently, we're going to be bound by the shackles of oppression, because at the end of the day, it takes a
Mm-hmm,
process, takes generations to fix things,
mm-hmm.
so I again, I'm extremely excited that you're here, that you're able to speak. You did touch on some of the girls dropping out. What other issues do you experience when it comes to either recruiting girls or keeping them?
Well, right now, recruiting them, there is no database. We didn't have any database for them in the Gambia. Well, they said they're working on the database, and it's been 5 years. Nothing has been done. Well, well, yes, that's it. So, when I recruiting them, what I do is like I meet them personally in their schools, because I do sensitization in schools, in communities. I make sure I tell people how important skill training is, especially women, even women who are married. They can have extra income in their family by making shoes, selling them, by making fabric. So this is something that is sustainable, and it's something that you can do, African culture. So you can do with being married, taking care of your husband, the household, and still have a side hustle. That's one thing that's reducing poverty. This is something that I spread out a lot. So during those sensitization in communities, in schools, that's how I have many of these girls come to me, approach me, and tell me that this is what they want to do, and this is their goals, this is their plans. So that's how I talk to them, and then we build a network. And also, yeah, I also go to schools and look for those people who have already graduated, who have already have their training, and they're up for internships. Most of them have internships, most of them don't have internships, so we help some who doesn't have internships to get internships, and make sure after their internship they are being employed, because most of them have these internships and they're not paying single dime. Imagine, they
Wow.
will make them work for over an year, and they will not even give them a single dollar, and they will come every day to work because they're female, so they will tell them that you guys are not strong, just lose the bulb there, change the oil. If you guys are not strong, we will not pay you. And that is abuse. That is you literally abusing them. These are some of the things that we're trying to fight. So those are the girls that I take and recruit, because I believe that now what I am doing right now with this 10 girls that I'm currently training is I am trying to train them on electronics and diagnostics, because the world is changing, narratives are changing, cars are very advanced in technology is part of it. So I want them to train that, so that if they're done with their training, they can actually have their little diagnostic machines. Even if they can stay in their homes, you can call them, they come to you, diagnose your car, and get their money. So they will not have to hustle again, having to work 12 hours a day without being paid. So those are the girls. That's how I get my girls, through sensitization, through going to school. And some of the schools also write to me that they have girls for internships. Also, my company, that's the auto mechanic company, take girls for internship also. So yes, that's basically I recruit girls through sensitizations, through going to their schools, through them reaching out to me. That's how I recruit them.
And I imagine sometimes when you recruit or when you go to these schools and you talk to these girls, they might be a little hesitant. So what are some things that you hear from the girls directly, and how do you overcome their objections?
Oh, well, most of them, if I tell them that I am just like you people, I have traveled over the world because of what I am doing, because those are the things that they want to see. They want to see the real role models. They want to see people who are doing what they're doing and touching their life. And I believe in storytelling, because I believe that there is nothing more real than connecting with people through storytelling. So most of the time when I share my stories, share my journey, they see themselves through my story. Most of them will tell me that when you were speaking, I thought that was my story. So obviously they will come to me and they will ask me questions. Most of them will tell me their worries, why they're scared. Some of them will tell me why they even wanted to drop down, because of the social stigma, systemic gender bias, inequality that's driven by cultural limitations, so many things, so many barriers that are involved. So when they tell me most of their problems, what I do, it's like problems are different and solutions are also different. So no matter how we try, but we cannot solve all of the problems. There are
Right.
certain problems that we can deal with. There is certain problem that somebody else will deal with, but a person cannot deal with all. So I try as much as possible to connect my story with their story, so that they can see the reality, so that they can see that there is future for them in this. If
Mhm.
I'm able do it is if I'm able to set up my own companies, if I'm able to go outside of the wall to talk to inspire people, they are able to do that too. That's basically what I saw them, and that's basically the training that I'm giving them. And also most of them, because of so many stigma, so many things, most of them are very scared to talk, so they don't
Mhm.
know their rights. So it's easy for these companies to abuse them, because also they want to have employment, they want to stay there. So if they don't know their rights, they abuse them. So I make sure they know their rights. I make sure they know their rights of work, and when to speak, where to speak. So this is all part of the training that we're doing.
So I can imagine that it would be a little difficult. I spent 2 years in Ethiopia. The community that I lived in was predominantly Muslim, but there were a lot of Orthodox Christians. My female students, majority of them missed school the most. I did realize that when testing season came around and the girls didn't perform very well, I oftentimes didn't see them second semester. We talked about the cultural barriers. Are there any religious or faith-based barriers that you find? Which groups do you feel are the most hesitant?
Well, as a Islam dominated country, uh, you can tell there is so many barriers involved in them, and most of these things are people take the culture and then put it in the Islamic culture and modify that and tell you that like for me, most of the people say, a woman should not laugh on top of your voice, should not be directly working with men, should not do a man's job. So you see, so these are some of the serious barriers that we are fighting. So you have some families still now, some families, women should not work. All you have to do is get married, bear children, and take care of the house. We still have those things here. So if a woman, if I once have this mentee who is from that family, so the girl is so smart, the girl is so brilliant. She wants to know a lot of things. She has a great personality, but at the end of the day, she lose the fight because of the family pressure, because of the Islamical pressure, because she is from a family that is Islamically dominated. That's where the jilbab and everything, that they're not allowed to walk, they're not allowed to go to school, they have to marry in the age of 18 and start have a family. No, so no matter how this girl tried, no matter how we fight, no matter how we fought them, but at the end of the day, so there are so many things that has to involve in that. So here also, that is part of it. So most of these girls will tell you that they will just come and tell me, Auntie Ida, I'm getting married. Why are you getting married now? You have a whole life in front of you. Well, do you know a woman has a such period of time? You should marry, you should do this. And the moment they're married, the moment they're pregnant, that's the end of their career path. They will never come back again, because they say this is a man's job, you cannot do it. And so those are the limitation most of them are fighting to overcome. So I think this is one major problem that we'll have to fight for. Maybe 2025 the narratives will change more.
Yeah, and I think surrounding Islam, there are a lot of changes happening, and I think people are becoming a lot more accepting of women in the workplace.
Hmm.
So there's definitely going to be areas where the reservation lies. I can imagine that that technical training is definitely male dominated in the Gambia, as it is in most places in the world. I want you to picture 10 years from now, okay? Where do you see ClockTVet?
Yeah, so I think in 10 years' time, what we really want is to increase the illiteracy in the Gambian communities on technical skills through advocacy, to remove the barriers in the society towards the girl child, so that they can contribute to national development. So I think in 10 years' time, we're looking to train more than 1,000 girls on skilled trainings throughout. And especially in the rural Gambia. And what we are targeting even it's single mothers, to develop these skills and technical know-hows, which will lead them to become entrepreneurs or enable them to secure better job prospect. Which will help them to be financially strong, because when you talk about the poverty rate in the rural areas, it's higher, because most of these women are not allowed to work, and most of them do not have the skills to impact their life, to be entrepreneurs, to make something, to sell something for themselves. So what we are looking for in the next 10 years to come is to how to empower these women, how to teach them the right skills to use so that they can use it, let's say fabrics, making shoes, uh, teach them how to repair shoemaking, how to repair mobile phones, TVs, how to solar installations, how to do this food processing, how to do these basic skills that will make them financially stable in wherever they are. So that is That is totally our goal in the next 10 years.
All right, I love it. I love it. I'm hoping that there are a lot of female listeners, especially females from the Gambia. So if you can sort of tell them the technical side of technical training and your organization, can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, so basically, what we do in ClockTVet, most of the people tell me that either because you are in the engineering department, you're doing automotive. Are you only stopping in the automotive industry? I tell them no. ClockTVet is looking for it's dealing with all TVET related fields. So we are not only giving technical training to only the engineering department, let's say the automotive department. We collaborate, we partner with other people who are also in the industry. That's like the carpenters, that's like the shoemakers, that like electricals, plumbing. So we actually cover all of the sectors by because our goal, our target is to have more youths to be skillful in these areas, so so technical wise, we're not only doing with the automotive. Technical wise, we're targeting TVET. And when you talk about TVET, anything that has to do with the hand, I tell them skillful. Anything that has to do with your hand, that's your creative. Anything that has to do with your, you can reach out to us, and if we tell you, we partner with many people, and so we offer the opportunities to wherever you want to do, because we are very diverse. We just don't want to limit the opportunities, and we cannot force anybody and tell you this is just specially what you're doing. So if you come to us, whatever you want to do in the TVET arena, there is ways for you to do that.
All right. So with everything that you've been doing and all the challenges you've had, what keeps you motivated?
Oh, I think what keeps me motivated, I tell you, it's my passion. The passion I have for what, the passion of being the voiceless. I think if you look at the Gambia, if you just say a female mechanic, my name will pop automatic. So I think that gives me the goal, the urge to look back at my journey and look at myself and say that, well, I can be the voice of the voiceless when you talk about the TVEC arena. So just that give me the urge to keep on going, to keep on learning, to keep on giving myself strength so that I can give others strength, and to keep on having opportunities so that I can give others opportunities. So that keeps me going, not only in the Gambia, but throughout Africa.
So I want to add a little piece there too. My mom always sends me videos on Africa. Always, always. Every week it's a new, someone's being interviewed, someone's doing this, someone's doing that. And she sends me this video of this Gambian guy. I believe he's an entrepreneur. And she's talking to me about him, and then she goes, "Oh, and there's this girl. Her name is, I don't remember her name, but she's doing wonderful things." And I say, "Is her name Ida?" She goes, "Yes, her. That's her. That's her." And I said, "All right, all right, all right, good." So you got the confirmation from my mom. She loves you. She's she's very passionate about what you're doing. When we look back at the advent of ideas, right? So whether it's nursing, whether it's trade, whether it's tech or education, most of these fields began with men, and it did take a woman to say, "You know what, I can do it too." One of the privileges that we have today is that the world is becoming a lot more inclusive, a lot more open-minded, a lot more supportive of these ideas and these different ventures for different people. Part of our mission here with the Okra Network is to provide visibility. It means so much to me that there's people out there that are wanting to improve their communities by saying, "Hey, I will do it. Okay, I'm not going to wait for someone else to do it. I will do it."
So the slogan that I'm using for my this project, it's connecting skill to girls, and I call my girls the TVET women, because I use that slogan as I see them as women, even though they're teenagers. Some of them are teenagers and some of them are adults. I'll tell them that you guys are women. You guys are not little girls, because if you're a woman, you know what you want. There are choices in life that you know what you want. You're determined to go for what fill your cup. So, and when you're doing that and you are in a male dominated job, you have to earn it. First, you have to master your skill. You have to be the best in what you're doing. So if you're a woman, you should know how to master your skills. You should know how to do what you do, and you're going to be the best in doing what you do until those men will give you credit. So that's how the TVET women come in, and that's how the skill connecting girls come in. So in ClockTVet, we believe to empower and support young women through skill training in the Gambia, and we hope to go in other part of Africa and collaborate with organizations there and expand what we're doing in the Gambia to other countries.
This is the biggest question. When you have 5 minutes to just be away from saving the world, what do you do?
Oh, well, like yesterday I was dancing. The thing here is like people don't know me casually like this. People only know me with the overall. So
Yeah.
basically, I meet people in the street, they wouldn't recognize me. So they will just, if I said hello, they will just say hello and pass me. And if I say, hey, it's Ida. Oh, is that you? You look good. You're on makeup. You're on high heels. So I just laugh. So uh, I am a mom, and the thing is, my son, it's so adorable. So I love spending time with him. So my days start with him. He wakes up at 6 a.m. every day. So had to spend some time with him, and then, eat, watch nursery rhyme, play around the house, and then get to work. And yes, at work, I'm a very fun person. I make sure I have fun when I am working. I dance, I walk, I sing, I walk. I don't let nothing stress me because I am working. So in my working place, it's very nice.
Mhm,
Me and the girls, we connect very well, and the girls have the opportunity to have the first hand experience. That is, they walk in cars
mhm,
themselves. They diagnose it, they fix it, they walk on cars themselves.
mhm,
Uh, with the trainings that they have and also the mentorship that they have. So we talk about society, the problems that are facing society. I learn from them, they learn from me, and I am a horrible dancer, but I dance everywhere. So I enjoy myself. And then during the mid of the day, what I do is like food. People tell me you are Nigerian, you like Nigerian food. I love to swallow, I love the fufu, and
mhm,
I love the fufu so much, and the ogisi and draw. So basically, I eat that a lot. And then we have a special traditional meal in the Gambia called the domoda. It's peanut butter soup, with meat. With in Africa, I don't have to tell. We share meals. So I love to eat that. If it's not that, is the peanut butter. If it's not the ogisi, it's the peanut butter soup. And then around 3, what we do is like we have we still work. That's the time we diagnose and know what's the problem and everything. And then around 5, that's when I start setting out to go home. So when I go home, uh when it's 7, I don't take no calls because it's just my time for me, my son,
mhm,
and personally, I enjoy reading a lot. I enjoy audiobooks. So I read different things. I make research. I watch videos. Actually, most of the things that I do it to upgrade myself, to learn more.
mhm,
Uh, to have more knowledge of other communities, other societies, they believe. And I love the African spirituality. I research so much about it. I read so much about it. And I think it's really great. It's superb. So I every day I spend like 30-45 minutes to read about African spirituality because I believe in our spirituality.
mhm.
So yes, basically that's my day. I dance a lot. I sing a lot. I don't let anything stress me.
That's good. That's good. Very open, very free living. All right. Ultimate. Sorry. Okay. Ultimate last question. Um, you are doing a lot. So, what sort of support do you need to accomplish your goals?
Well, right now the support that I need is I have already started my projects. Like I tell people, I don't wait, I do it myself. So right now the support that I need is how to sustain my goals, how to sustain it. So let's say grants,
Mhm.
because girls, they need the things, they need their sanitary pads, they need their little transport allowance, to keep them motivated. So this time I'm doing it, and the American Embassy Banjul give us a grant, so we're working with that grant to sustain these goals, and that's how we uh, fund our project that we right now working on. That's the Skill Connected Girls. So I'm
Mhm.
giving them thank you. They actually the first ever organization who had support ClockTVet Foundation since 2018. So everything we have been doing it, we're doing it by ourselves until they come along. So right now, the support that we need most, it's grant and also materials. We need diagnostic machines for the girls to train with, key programming machines, so that they can be in the same level with technology. So these are important. So we need grants, we also need materials. So
Mhm.
those are two things that we need. If anybody cannot help us with grants, no problem, just help us with these materials. Buy it for us, and then we will be very grateful, because I really want my girls to go with technology. That's the world we are.
And we support that. Can you tell listeners how they can reach you and share their support?
Well, yes, you can search me on in Instagram, the technician woman, Twitter also the mechanic woman, Twitter the technician woman, Facebook Ida Faal, and also our website is www.fitafal.com. So just go to Google, search the Gambian woman, mechanic woman, and then all of my information will come. Google will help you. Safari will help you. Anywhere you type the Gambian woman, YouTube will help you. The Gambian mechanic woman, I will pop up, and then my informations will be there. So reach out.
Reach out. And what I'm going to do is link all the contact details below. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to either Ida or I. Again, Ida, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And as always, don't forget to like, follow, share, and subscribe to our platforms. We are live on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And together we can accomplish anything. Again, I'm Ivan Tamba with the Okra Network, and I had the pleasure of meeting with Ida Faal. Thank you for listening. See you next time.